Egypt, a land of mystery, power, and timeless wonder. From the golden sands of the Sahara to the mighty Nile River, this ancient nation has given the world some of its most enduring legacies. Welcome to the history of Egypt, a journey through over 5,000 years of civilization, culture, and conquest. Prehistoric and early settlements. Long before the pyramids, Egypt was a fertile land along the Nile. Around 5000 BCE, communities settled along the riverbanks, practicing agriculture and domesticating animals. These early people relied on the predictable flooding of the Nile to nourish their crops. The river would shape every aspect of Egyptian life for millennia. The unification of Egypt, 3100 BC. The story of ancient Egypt truly begins with King Narmer, also known as Menes, who united Upper and Lower Egypt around 3100 BCE. He founded the first dynasty and established Memphis as the capital. This marked the beginning of Egypt as a centralized kingdom and the start of the early dynastic period. The Old Kingdom, Age of the Pyramids, 2686 to 2181 BCE. This era saw Egypt reach architectural and political greatness. The most iconic structures, the pyramids of Giza, including the Great Pyramid of Khufu, were built during this period. Pharaohs were viewed as divine, and massive resources were used to prepare for their afterlife. The Old Kingdom eventually weakened due to internal strife, climate changes, and economic issues. The First Intermediate Period, 2181 to 2055 BCE. Egypt splintered into rival factions, central authority collapsed, and local governors, nomarchs, held power. Despite the instability, this era encouraged new artistic styles and regional influence. The Middle Kingdom, 2055 to 1650 BCE. A new ruling family from Thebes reunited Egypt, ushering in a golden era of culture, trade, and literature. The pharaohs of this period focused on internal development, building canals and fortresses, and expanding trade with neighbors like Nubia and the Levant. The Second Intermediate Period and the Hyksos, 1650 to 1550 BCE. Foreign rulers known as the Hyksos invaded and controlled parts of northern Egypt. They introduced new technologies, including the horse-drawn chariot. Despite their rule, native Egyptian dynasties survived in the south, preparing for eventual resistance. The New Kingdom, 1550 to 1070 BCE. Egypt emerged stronger than ever. The New Kingdom, known as the Empire Period, saw the rise of legendary pharaohs like Hatshepsut, a powerful female ruler who expanded trade. Thutmose II, a military genius who led campaigns across the Middle East. Akhenaten, the monotheistic reformer who worshipped Aten, the sun disk. Tutankhamun, the boy king whose tomb captivated the modern world. Ramses II the Great, who signed one of the world's first peace treaties with the Hittites. This was Egypt's peak in wealth, military strength, and art. Massive temples like Karnak, Luxor, and Abu Simbel were constructed. The Third Intermediate Period, 1070 to 664 BCE. After centuries of prosperity, Egypt weakened again. Libyan tribes, Nubian kings, and Assyrian invasions divided the country. The centralized state crumbled as regional powers rose. The Late Period in Persian rule, 664 to 332 BCE. Egypt was briefly revived under native rulers, but the growing might of the Persian Empire eventually conquered the land. Egypt became a satrapy, province under Darius the Great. Despite foreign rule, Egyptian culture persisted. The Greek and Ptolemaic period, 332 to 30 BCE. In 332 BCE, Alexander the Great marched into Egypt and was welcomed as a liberator. He founded the city of Alexandria, which would become a global center of learning and commerce. After Alexander's death, his general Ptolemy took control, establishing the Ptolemaic dynasty. For nearly 300 years, the Greek-speaking Ptolemies ruled Egypt, blending Hellenistic and traditional Egyptian culture. The most famous Ptolemaic ruler was Cleopatra, a brilliant and politically savvy queen who aligned with Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony. Her defeat by Octavian, later Emperor Augustus, in 30 BC marked the end of both her reign and Egypt's independence. Roman and Byzantine Egypt, 30 BCE, 641 CE. Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire, providing grain to feed Rome. Later, under the Byzantines, Christianity spread throughout the region. Coptic Christianity took root and developed a distinct identity. Islamic conquest in medieval Egypt, 641-1517 CE. In 641 CE, Arab forces conquered Egypt, introducing Islam and the Arabic language. Egypt became part of the Umayyad and later Abbasid caliphates. Over time, it gained autonomy under dynasties like the Fatimids and Mamluks. Cairo, founded in 969, became a center of Islamic learning and art. Ottoman rule and European influence, 1517 to 1882. Egypt was absorbed into the Ottoman Empire, but maintained local autonomy. In the 19th century, Muhammad Ali Pasha modernized Egypt's army, economy, and infrastructure. However, massive debts and European interests, especially in the Suez Canal, led to growing British control. British occupation and the modern state, 1882 to 1952. Though nominally under the Ottomans, Egypt was effectively controlled by Britain. Nationalist movements grew, especially after World War I. In 1922, Egypt gained limited independence, but the British retained influence. The 1952 revolution led by Gamal Abdel Nasser overthrew the monarchy and Egypt became a republic. Contemporary Egypt, 1952 present. Under Nasser, Egypt pursued Arab nationalism and fought multiple wars with Israel. His successor Anwar Sadat made peace with Israel in 1979, leading to internal unrest and his assassination. Hosni Mubarak ruled for nearly 30 years until the 2011 Egyptian Revolution, part of the Arab Spring. Since then, Egypt has faced political instability but remains a major cultural and geopolitical player in the region. From the age of the pharaohs to modern times, Egypt's history is a saga of resilience, innovation, and transformation. It is a country where ancient wonders coexist with a dynamic present and where history continues to shape identity. Welcome to Egypt, where the past is always present.